What up, everybody? It's your girl SherrysJoy, and welcome to another episode of Bookmarked. I am one half of the DigiKast, and I am very excited to discuss my next book, All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. Now, S.A. Cosby is an author from the southeastern Virginia area. Whoop whoop, shout out, that's where I am from. And I enjoy reading books from authors from that, I enjoy reading books by authors from that area, and also books that take place in that area, just because it's my home state and I love it so much. So this book is a thriller. I'm back to my thrillers. It was recommended to me by another Instagram person, Nemreads. Thank you very much, and shout out. So this book was actually, I came across it on another feed, and I saw what the plot was about, so I was very interested in reading it. So what we're going to do now is talk about the actual book itself. It was published in June of 2023, and we are following Titus, who is the main character. He is, it's a small town, Sharon County, Charon County, which is located, from what I'm understanding, it's located somewhere around the Richmond area, kind of where Prince Edward County is, in that same area of the previous book that I discussed, Something Must Be Wrong, or Something Must Be Done About Prince Edward County. So it's around that area, and we'll show you. So it's a small rural county, and they don't even have like a coroner's office. So what's happened here is Titus, his mom passed away maybe like 10 years ago. He has a brother, Marquis, and he lives with his father, Albert. And Titus, he has just came back to his hometown and to become sheriff. He actually ran for sheriff. So he went away to college. He went to UVA, University of Virginia, and then he went to Columbia, and from there he became an FBI agent for 10 years. And he lived in Indiana for a while, and he had a girlfriend there. Her name is Kelly. And then he came, something happened, to him. He came back home, where his father had just had like hip surgery. So he came home to take care of his dad. And he also, ran for the town sheriff or county sheriff. And he actually got that. Now Titus is a black man, and this is a very racist area. This is America, right? So because it's rural and rural and county, seriously, like the county has I guess you call it a club called the Sons of the Confederacy. And they do protests, and they walk around, they march around, and they have they're trying to protect statues, like Civil War statues, like Robert E. Lee and other statues that are in the town. So I'm just kind of like telling you a little bit of the town or county, I should say. And so anyway, so he wakes up in the morning, and it's a normal morning day. He's getting his breakfast. He's talking to his dad, which I absolutely love the dynamic between him and his dad. It is like his dad is almost like the comedic relief of the book, and the accents. Like I can hear the accents through the writing. The author is phenomenal. I'm able to follow the written awesome, and I'm chuckling because I'm from Virginia, so I know the accents I just know the accents. And it comes out for sure in the writing. So it's a normal morning, bright and early, sunny, cheery, orange juice kind of day, and eggs and bacon. And Titus gets a call. There's been a shooting at the school. Like not a mass shooting, but just some sort of shooting. So he immediately goes to the school, and this is not really a spoiler. One of our beloved teachers, or one of the county's beloved teachers, has been killed, and it's like, why, and the investigation goes from there. Now, there are so many plot twists and turns. This book, I'm serious, had me reading. Now, I'm just getting over a cold. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not, but I was sick in bed for like 2 days, and this is how I read this book. You know, I would take some medicine, let the medicine kick in, and as it was kicking in, I would read, and you know, for 2 hours, and then sleep for 2 hours, and read for 3, and it just kept me engaged. So we're trying to find out why, you know, well, what happened, you know, what actually happened. We find out what happened through our phones, or through their, you know, through phones. And what happened is there's this horrible murder to these Black children, teenagers, ages, I think 13 through 17, boys and girls, all Black. There's 7 so far, or, you know, no spoilers. So far, there's 7 at the beginning of the book. And we know that there are 3 murderers, and 2 of them have been caught. Now we're looking for the 3rd. And this is where it gets crazy. It gets religious, demonic. The killer follows the book of Revelation, and, you know, he's doing symbolic things. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the movie 7, you know, where it was like the 7 deadly sins, right? So it's not quite that, but it's gory. These murders are gory like that, with, you know, religious undertone, if you can call it that. You know, just quoting scripture from Revelation, and you know, sending, just it's gory. So what I actually liked about the book is, well, how the book made me feel was very interactive. Very, very interactive. Like, I was completely engaged. I was acting like I was, you know, part of the sheriff squad. I'm taking my notes. I'm writing down characters, and as we're learning about like witnesses, I'm writing down the witness names and what they, you know, why they're a suspect and all of these things. And I'm like totally engaged. I have my own little, you know, police board here of trying to figure out who committed this crime, because I'm trying to help out Titus here. I'm like his deputy, or whatever that person is called. What I liked about the book, as I said, I was very engaged in this book. It was a page turner. I loved the fact that it took place in Virginia, so I knew all of the places that were referenced, except for when we get deep into like the Richmond talk. I know Richmond, but I don't know Richmond like that, but I know the areas. And as I said, the accents that we go into, I'm reading it with no problem, and it's making me laugh because of the accents and the comedic relief of Albert the father. Love it. And there is one part in this book where Titus and his brother Marquise have this like brotherly love kind of talk. Marquise is kind of like the hard, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bar and I'm gonna, you know, drink and start a fight, and I'm not gonna do anything and all this other stuff. But then he softens up a little bit at one point of the book, and he's like really having this heart to heart with his brother. It's like, oh, brotherly love. So that made me feel all nice. What I didn't like about the book, we have the ex-girlfriend. Her name is Kelly. She's actually a podcaster of true crime. So I'm like, she doesn't really have a plot in the book. She doesn't really have a story. She's just there. So I kind of feel like that was thrown in for the times, right? So we have this thriller. In real life, we've got true crime happening. We've got true crime podcasts and documentaries. So I feel like that was kind of just thrown in there a little bit to kind of remind us of the times, because we are in this rural area and we got farming and all of that. Don't forget, there's a real world out there. So this reporter wants to come and do a podcast about whatever is happening in this county. And guess what? She's the ex-lover of the sheriff. So sure, she can, get some things going on and get the inside scoop. So I wasn't a fan of that, but I do appreciate that it was thrown in there because it does make the book a reality, or helps the book make the book reality. Excuse me. Also what I didn't like about or care about the book is the plot turns. There were so many plot turns. I love the plot turns, but what I didn't like, I guess, about the plot turns is that because there were so many plot turns, there were so many characters to keep in touch with, like to keep up with. So the sheriff, the deputies, the witnesses, the this and the that. And there's one scene or one chapter in the book where it talks about this church called the Holy Church, Holy Creek, and it's one of those snake handler churches. So it's like he goes to investigate the minister, and he's like feeding the snakes, and it was so detailed. It made my skin crawl. So that's actually good, but I didn't like it because I am not a fan of those things. So my skin was crawling, and it was like, oh my God, I can really see, what's happening. Like I can feel it, and it's just, ooh. So it was written very well. The book is just written very, very well. And I rate this book a 5 because it was awesome. It just all around engaged, page turner. Love page turners. Again, All Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I highly recommend this book. If you love thrillers, this is a good one. I will give a warning. It does the bad things that were happening, where people were being unalived, were related to children, minors, and it does allude to some things that are hard to read, but it does not go into full, complete detail. But that is my warning there. So if you're very sensitive to something like that, this book isn't for you. So maybe that's another disappointment in what I didn't like, but it's still a really good book. So I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch and listen to my review. If you have any suggestions for any books for me, please let me know. Send me a message, hit me up in the comments. I'll read anything that you suggest, I'll read it. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna love it or like it, but I will definitely read it. And I do appreciate all of you and all of your likes and subscribes. Again, I'm SherrysJoy. I am one half of the DigiKast. You can find me on Instagram at Bookmarked SJ, and you can find the DigiKast right here on YouTube, the DigiKast one. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify at the DigiKast. We have a blog, TheDigiKast.substack.com, and check out our Amazon affiliate page down below. And again, please hit me up if you have any suggestions, comments, or concerns, or any thing that you'd like for me to review. Or if you've read this book, let me know what you thought. Let me know what you thought. Yes. Again, getting over a cold here. So anyway, love the world.